Now, everybody, let's get started, please. So, all right, Rob, do you have a mic? Okay, Kurt, do you have a mic? All right, we're ready to go then. Rob, you want to start?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Robert Zodig. I am well. I have no time constraints except the Giants kick off around 8:15. Okay. Well, the 49ers beat us. You don't have to worry about that. Dr. Cole is missing tonight. She's down in AP, so she won't be here tonight. I have no elephants, and I would like to conclude this round of bargaining as my expectation.
Okay.
My name is Elizabeth Brinkley. I'm doing well. I have no time constraints, no elephants. The expectation is to conclude this round of bargaining. I like that one.
Good evening, I'm Heather Leonard. I'm doing well this evening. I don't have any time constraints. I believe Suzette Rivera is also missing. I'm not sure if she's going to be out or late. No elephants, and I'll go with expectation. I'd like to conclude this round of bargaining as well.
Hi, I'm Amy, and I'm fine. No time constraints, no elephants, and conclude.
My name is Kevin Kelfie. I'm doing well. I have no time constraints. Missing has been noted. No elephants, and expectations conclude this bargaining.
Hi, I'm Mike Gaywood. I'm doing great. I have no time constraints. Missing's noted. No elephants. Expectations conclude this round of bargaining.
Good afternoon, Michael Robichaud. I'm doing well. No time constraints. Missing has been noted. No elephants in the room, and conclude this round of bargaining.
My name is Carl Burnside. I'm doing fine. I do have a time constraint where I need to depart by 6:30. Who's missing? It has been noted. No elephants. Expectation is that we conclude this round of bargaining before I leave.
Good afternoon, I'm Ben, I'm doing great. I have a time constraint of 5:45. That might be pushing it to meet what Carl just asked for there. Missing is noted, no elephants, and the expectation conclude this round of bargaining.
I'm Shannon Johnston. I'm doing great. No time constraints. Missing's been noted. No elephants, and the same expectation.
Jessica Duncan. I'm doing fine. Missing is noted. No elephants. I have no time constraints, and expectations are to conclude this round of bargaining.
Course McIntosh, I'm doing fine. I have no time restraints. Missing has been noted, no elephants, and expectation is to conclude this round of bargaining as well.
I am Helen Martin. I am doing well. I have no time constraints. Missing has been noted. I have no elephants, and expectations are to conclude.
Hey, good evening, everybody. I'm Kurt Fazone, Chief Negotiator for the Union. I'm fine. No time constraints. Missing, I think we just have Lewis missing. No elephants. Expectation, continue the conversation on compensation.
Hello, my name is Kevin, President of TALC. I'm fine. No time constraints. Missing has been noted. No elephants, and
I know what I want my expectation to be, but, continue the discussion and hopefully finish tonight. Yeah, can I have one of each, please? I can't think of any reason why we really wouldn't, but who knows? Lewis is here.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Jill Castellano. I am a teacher at Cypress Lake Middle School. I'm the vice president of TALC. I'm doing quite well. I do not have any time constraints. Missing has been noted. There are no elephants. And my expectation is I'll take one of each like Kevin did. Good afternoon. My name is Anna Witten. I am a 4th grade teacher at Franklin Park Elementary as well as TALC secretary. I am doing fine. No time constraints. Missing is noted. No elephants. And I'll take one of each as well.
You offered it, now it's the problem. Never should have offered, you should have made me choose. But you offered the easy way out.
Good afternoon, my name is Shay Pearson. I am a testing coordinator at Island Crest High School. I am also the TALC treasurer. I am doing fine. I can't see what that says, so I'm just gonna say no time constraints, missing's been noted. No elephants.
Expectation.
I'll take the second one. I don't know what it says, but
It's conversation, conversation.
I'll take that one for $100.
Good evening. My name is Iris Grimaldi. I'm a school social worker. I am doing well. I have no time constraints. We no longer have anyone missing. I have no elephants, and my expectation, I'll take one of each as well.
Hello, my name is.
It just doesn't sound like a teacher voice.
Hello. My name is Amy Johnson. I am a 6th grade ELA teacher at Mariner Middle School. I am doing well tonight. I have no time constraints. We have no one missing, but they have been noted on the other side. Elephants, none, and I'll take the first one. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Heather Williams. I'm a school counselor at Caucus Middle School. I'm doing okay. I don't have any time constraints, noted missing, no elephants, and I'd also like to conclude.
Good afternoon, my name is Louis Fisher. I'm the director of bands at Gateway High School. I'm doing somewhat okay. No time constraints, missing has been noted, no elephants, and expectation is to conclude this round of bargaining.
Good evening. My name is LaShonda Hutchins Colon, and I'm the grade 3 through 5 math coach at Franklin Park Elementary, and I am fine today. No time constraints, missing has been noted, no elephants, and my expectations, I'll take a 2 for now. Thank you.
Good evening, Mario Dorstal. I teach mathematics at Southwood Myers High School. I'm well, no time constraints, don't have anyone missing, and no elephants. I'll take one of each.
I'm Christina Starrett. I am the K-5 art teacher at Tortuga Reserve Elementary. Doing well, no time constraints, missings noted, no elephants, and I'll just take the first one to conclude.
Thank you, everyone. Fine. I have no time constraints, missings are noted, I have no elephants, and my expectations will conclude this round of bargaining.
I am Amy French. Doing well, no time constraints. We're all here. No elephants, and expectations are to help you fulfill both of your expectations.
And good afternoon, I'm Donna Monsenard. I'm doing well, no time constraints, nothing's been noted, no elephants in my expectations is to help you do both of those things. Okay, with that, you did receive minutes from the last time. So if you have any corrections to the minutes, corrections, deletions, Christina?
Understory, the first bullet, doesn't quite make sense.
Supposed to say I would like to know.
That's what I thought, yes.
Okay, we'll make that correction. Amy?
All right, on page 2, under options, number 3, the second line. There should be a space in between and 32. And I think the next word should be take out instead of taking out. Uh-huh. And then the next, in parentheses, it says taking. I believe that's supposed to be take. On page 3, under story, the 4th bullet, and then the indentation there. The second line, it says are not always part of FRS, but supplements are never part of FRS, right? Is that correct? Are they part of it?
It depends.
Okay, gotcha. Right, under the next bullet, it says, what is the total cost of the district's option? That should just have a question mark at the end. What is the total cost of the district's option? Should have a question mark. And then the 7th bullet, the last bullet on that page, 7,400 and almost needs a space in between it. So almost space 7,400. And that's it.
Okay, anybody else? Any changes, deletions? Rob?
No, I just have one. We just need to be consistent with whether we capitalize career ladder or not.
Right. Okay.
I think it should be capitalized, frankly, but.
All right, anything else, Amy?
Yes, ma'am. On page 1 of 4, in the first part of story, where it talked about order of operations, the third bullet should really be second. It's the first bullet, then the second, then the third one, the salary study was discussed at bargaining, was the second bullet, and then last was what is listed as the second bullet.
So we would change the order bullet from first bullet, first, second bullet.
You change the order of the last 2 bullets, flip them. And then also under option 5, the performance pay HE is listed as $13.59, and I believe it should be $13.50.
Okay. For HE. Okay, anything else? All right, seeing no other hand, and we accept the minutes with the corrections and deletions. All right, great, minutes are accepted. We're going to this paper. And we are back to compensation. In your minutes, you do have all the options from last week, but we also have them up here on chart paper for anybody who wants to look at that, see if it might be easier for you. So we have all the options here from the first one to whatever number we ended with. And we have our interests listed here as well. So I hope everybody had a chance in our last meeting to get a look at all the other options, and I'm going to ask, are there any more options to put up tonight? I know that Kerr was looking at something for special instructional teachers. So anything else? Any other options? Rob?
I didn't, are you good, Kirk? Okay. So we have an additional option, which I guess would make 7. 8, sorry.
Sorry.
I'm just kind of waiting for you guys. So this is kind of a hybrid of bands and starting salary schedule. So I'll just start with performance-based pay would be 1,000 highly effective, 750 effective. Yes. Yes.
If we have any CCs.
Am I good to go?
Yep.
Okay. So then we would do what we're calling a retention increase percentage. And those would be 0 to 3, 3.65%.
Okay.
4 to 7, 5%.
Go ahead.
8 to 11, 7%.
Yep.
12 to 15, 8%. 16 to 19, 9%. 20 and above, 10%. And then, and I'll talk about the order of operations in a minute, but then we would do a classroom, non-classroom JROTC starting salary schedule,
Okay.
which would be 0 to 3, 50,000.
Hold on a second. That's what you're seeing special instructional?
Classroom, non-classroom JROTC. Nothing about special instructional yet.
0 to 3, 50,000.
It would be for classroom, non-classroom teachers, and JROTC. The starting salary schedule.
Thank you, Rob, for clarifying.
You're welcome.
Okay.
So does he have 0 to 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it? All right.
4 to 7, 51,500. 8 to 11, 53,000. 12 to 15, 55,000. 16 to 19, 57,000. And 20 plus would be 59,000. Special instructional would start at 59,000.
Squeeze that on in? Yep. Okay. Now we might have to go if you have more.
So the order of operations,
Okay.
just to conclude,
So this is option. Oh, yeah, go ahead, do that, that'll work. All right,
would be the retention increase percentage. You could just put in a number 1 by it, I guess, I don't know. We have this written down, so don't freak out. The true up,
hold on a sec, after true up.
Robert, what did you call the retention? Retention?
increase percentage.
True up. Okay.
Then performance pay. And then career ladder, if any. And that's our option.
Okay. Kevin?
So the true up would be to the banded base pay you have, like 50,000 for 0 to 3, 51.5. That's what we're true upping to, those numbers?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Anna has her hand up next.
So I just have a clarifying question. Maybe I missed something. Non-classroom and JROTC, those are the only people who would true up?
No, classroom, non-classroom, JROTC.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Shay?
When you see retention increase, are we talking about years in the district, or are we talking about credible years?
Years X.
Years X. And then what is the current, so all special instructional would be moved to 59,000. What is their current rate right now? Their starting rate right now?
$53,250.
Any other questions?
I have one, but I
Okay. Iris? Well,
So for special instructional, would that create more compression?
No, I think what it does is it keeps us in the market for positions like yours, where we find it hard to recruit, and we don't give experience credit to special instructional. So that's why it's treated differently, like we covered last session.
So special instructional who have 20 plus years and are already making more than that would not be trued up, would not receive an increase?
You see Elizabeth shaking her head, no. They would get performance pay, however, and of course their longevity and career ladder.
Okay.
And benefits, 19 million that we spent the last couple of years, so.
Thank you.
Okay, Amy, are you ready?
Plus the supplement for the area you're in.
Okay.
Can I
Now
ask
you, Kevin had his hand up next.
I did. So I guess along the same lines, what's the order of operations for special instructional?
True up, performance pay, career ladder.
Okay, now Shay, do you have a question?
The 19 million that you talk about when we're talking about benefits, is that just TALC's part, or is that the entire district?
Great question, that's the entire district, you're right.
Okay, so.
However, there's over 6,000 TALC employees, it's the largest group in the district.
And what's the total amount of employees in the district?
that are eligible for benefits, it's around 10,000.
10,000, so we're about 60% of that.
Correct.
19 million. Okay, thanks.
All right, Amy, ready?
So, looking at this, if you have 20 or more years in the district, it's kind of, let's say you have 40 years in the district, it's kind of collapsing a little bit more, so anybody who has, like over the 59,000, they're not gonna get that true up, correct?
That's correct.
It just seems like you're still compressing the people that are at the top. You're compressing their salaries.
They're getting the 10%.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else? Any other questions, clarifications? Any other options? Yes, Kevin, Caucus? Okay. Time frame?
Solid, a solid 20.
A solid 20. Yes, are you gonna Caucus?
Probably will, yes.
Okay. So you have a room game, right?
Yes.
Are you gonna let me?
When you are using the microphone, closer to your mouth.
How is that? Yeah. I'm getting a resume. Okay, let's get started again. And, Kurt, you want to give your caucus report, please?
Sure, we discussed the district's option, we discussed a new option, and I guess we'll go from there.
Okay, let's look at this particular report, and then we'll hear your option. Rob?
Yeah, we discussed the district's option and whether TALC would have a new option.
And guess what? They do. All right, so this will be option 9. Right. All right, so option 9, Kurt?
Alrighty, so we, I think we're coalescing around an idea here. So I have this for you so that you can copy it instead of reading it off. So we did, we're back to our framework around looking at years of credible teaching experience. And we carved it up a little bit differently. So 0 years X, we stuck with the, a 3.65% increase, which brings the minimum base salary from $48,250 right at $50,000. For 1 to 4 years of credible teaching experience, 5.5% increase.
1 to 4?
1 to 4.
5.5?
Yes. 1 to 4 was 5.5. 5 to 9, 8.5. 10 to 14, 9.5. 15 to 19, 10.5. 20 plus, 11.5. Special instructional, 8% increase. And performance pay, we almost doubled performance pay from our original option. Highly effective, a whopping $125. And effective, $100. The total cost of our plan is right at 32, or right at bargaining authority of 32.8 million. We were curious, that's our option. Maybe I should have discussed the district's option a little bit. There were a couple things. One with the true up, we're worried about the compression that's going to create by moving folks into these pay bands. If we're going to move into pay bands, our thought was let's wait till the salary study and then see what dollars we have to work with in order to really institute those pay bands. And the same with the special instructional. That true up and the performance pay, we're just worried that will really exacerbate the compression on that side. Thank you. And we were also wondering what the total cost of option 8 is.
Yeah, it's 31.5 million, I believe. Amy can correct me.
How are you handling JROTC?
They are included in the numbers. We are not separating them. In our research, we found out that the money the government pays JROTC is their retirement. So the money they get from the Army is their retirement. It's not money for teacher. I'm kind of looking at Shay because she did most of the research on this. And so it would be like if you had an administrator or a teacher who retired, waited out a year and came back and was collecting a pension, and we didn't give them a raise because they were getting a pension. So we have them included in here on the same bands. And while I have the mic anyway, I want to, and people have been very entertaining with our low performance pay numbers, and we appreciate that. And I think I was thinking about that because your original offer was $1,300 and $1,000, and that seems good. And our offer was way low, $6,250 and $40. And so as I thought about it, I began to think, and maybe just because you don't live it, that maybe you don't understand the inherent inequity of the performance pay issue. So I have a VAM. My VAM is district-wide reading. What in the world I have to do with district-wide reading, I cannot tell you. But I have to have a VAM of district-wide reading. There are a lot of teachers who are disenfranchised by their job position, and they are not rated on things they have direct control of. Now that's even ceding the fact that it's a good idea to pay based on performance, and I don't necessarily believe that, right? So there's one large group that's disenfranchised. And then secondarily, if I'm an English teacher at, high school HHH, to not pick anybody out, right? I'm an English teacher at HHH. And Kerr is an English teacher at HHH. And I've been around since before 2011, and he's been around after 2011, and we get the exact same scores. He has to make more money than me. So there's a whole separate group of employees that disenfranchised by contract status. Because you guys didn't do this. This was set up in legislation by people in Tallahassee who I often say, don't know, don't ask, don't want to know, and can't do it. Right? They did. We didn't do it. You guys didn't do it. It is the way the law has been established, and it disenfranchises different people for no good reason. And hey, by the way, I can make what Kerr makes if I just move over to a forever annual and give up my PSC. What should contract status matter if we're both highly effective by that? But it does. And if I'm teaching art, if we're going to judge me on performance, it might be based on art and not school-wide reading. And so that's why I think that there's been a little bit of chuckling today, and there was a little bit last time about what seems like an incredibly low number around the performance pay issue. It's just because the mere system disenfranchises people. And that's why I think we're seeing a lot of people not necessarily care what that number is, because some of them, a majority of them, have no control over what they can or can't get. I mean, I think it's 1,800 people who are disenfranchised by contract status. And then it's everybody who doesn't teach a tested subject that's disenfranchised by what they teach. And so I think, when we're looking at this, this is really the first year the district has said we're not liable to use every penny to divide up on effective and highly effective. So I think that's a good thing, because again, I think it's inherently inequitable for a number of reasons. It may not even be worthwhile discussing that it's good at all. But if we're going to move away from it, we need to make the dent where we can make it, which is away from this, which is the most equitable for the most amount of people, because we're not solving compression here today. We've made an effort last year to solve compression with longevity. We're making another dent in compression today. We will make another dent in compression in February, moving for next school year. So again, I think that's kind of why, my take on why the performance pay options that we have up there haven't necessarily gotten the scoring that maybe Kerr and I thought they would get when we first put them up. Like, I really like almost laughed last time when he said the numbers. But as I thought about it, I did laugh. As I thought about it, it was the disenfranchising effect of the system related to the employees and what they can possibly earn, which again, the district has nothing to do. I'm sure if the district was asked the system, they would not have contract status as a dividing line. They would maybe want to figure out a way to compensate people based on what they teach, not me, district-wide reading, no clue, no effect. Don't know. So teach your hearts out, guys, that's my jam too. But other than giving people $1 million to teach reading, there's very little I can do to impact district-wide reading. So that's kind of my little take while I have the mic on this whole performance thing.
Okay, thanks, Kevin. Elizabeth?
I just wanted to add a little bit. This year, we're not doing BAM because it's not out yet. This is just manager rating.
Okay, Burr?
We ended the last bargaining session with a straw design of option 3 and 4. I'd like to make another straw design if I could, please.
Okay, let me make sure, are there any questions to clarify? If anybody has clarified TALC options that are out there? Okay, sir. Seeing no other questions, go ahead, Kurt.
So straw design B, I'd like to keep options 3 and 4 as a part, but I'd like to add our new option 9. Yes.
So, Mark, that's straw design. Yeah, you can write option there, just put straw design B. Yeah. Yeah.
Options 3, 4, 9.
Okay. Anybody else? Rod?
Yeah, I heard Kevin, and his premise, no argument. However, we have to comply. Compliance is one of our interests, I believe.
Yes, it is.
And there is significant concern that drawing attention to our salary plan, which we have to send to the state, is probably not a good idea. And I believe those low performance pay numbers potentially could do that.
Burr?
Just as a part of story, there are a number of counties in the Peace River Basin area who have negotiated flat increases across the board with no performance pay, and the DOE is not rejecting any of those salary plans. And I can't help, while I've got the mic, the DOE should have absolutely nothing to do with blessing our salary plans because they are not a party to this contract. But Hendry, Glades, I believe, have had no performance pay and no one said anything to them.
Okay, anything else? Rod?
I heard you. I don't think this issue, I think we should be able to come to a compromise, is I guess where I'm coming. You all went 125, 100. You started off at some other numbers last time, which were much less than that. A couple of our options, we went from 10, 12, 50 and 1350 down to 1,000 and 750. So I think the parties are showing some ability to compromise on this issue. I just think we need to get there.
Okay, Kevin?
I guess, and maybe we can't predict this, right? But what's the lowest we want to go? Because every dollar we give to that is a dollar we can't give on the other thing. So, and again, I think there might be some misconception that performance pay is not a raise and it's not a permanent addition to pay, but it is. But I think there might be a perception that it might not be. I'm just concerned that if we muck too much with it, the other numbers become inconsequential and the offset. I mean, it'd be one thing if we could lower it 1% and then raise the VAM the same number and essentially get the same dollar amount. And I don't know where that sweet spot is, right? But I'm concerned about mucking with the performance numbers so much that when you combine it with the percentage, it's actually less than the lower performance number and the higher percentage. And I guess it's about sweet spot, is what I'm trying to find.
Anna?
I agree with Kevin too, finding that sweet spot, but I also wanted to say, I've taken every option, this is not about me, but I can use my salary because I know it. I've taken every option, my salary, I ran the numbers, and our thought process was in a year where we have an opportunity to have a pot of money that doesn't have a lot of strings attached to it, which has not happened in a very long time. And we also have the largest pot of money that I've ever seen as a member of this bargaining team, to be able to have that little bit of freedom to give higher percentage raises. We're at a time right now that we've never been able to do before. So when we give more money to a higher percentage versus the performance pay, it ends up working a little better for people when we hear the needs of our teachers. We hear teachers that can't put food on the table. We hear the teachers that, are trying to, all the stories we've shared, we hear that. So we're at an opportunity to do more right now. So what would be the lowest we're willing to go for performance pay? I think we need to start there, and then we could do a little backwards design.
All right, anybody else? Do we have any other straw design?
I think this has to be a mutual decision, right? I think it is interest-based, so I don't know if we're playing a game of chicken, like how high or how low are you willing to go? I understand that TALC has had 2 speakers say that, but how high is TALC willing to go? I think that's...
Works both ways.
Yeah.
Kevin?
So Kerr kind of has a real-time spreadsheet, right? And so given the option we put up as option 9, if we put in the 750,000, we go to $4 million over and we keep the percentages the same at the bands, right? And just go 750, 1,000, we go $4 million over. So that means what we have to do is we have to muck with the percentages to make up that $4 million. And so that's kind of where, like, you can't have it both. And so I'm not sure how low we have to go on the percentages. Kerr may be doing that now to save that $4 million, but that may be, instead of an 8%, it may be a 3%. And then the 3% in the 750 isn't anywhere close to the 7% and the $62. And so again, I'm about total. And so if the numbers are totaling together, like if the percentage and performance equal $6,000 in one plan and they equal $5,985 in the other plan, yeah. If they reach $6,000 on one plan, but because we got to muck with it so much, they're $4,000 on the other plan, that's a mighty big sacrifice on the idea that maybe the DOE, when it hasn't bothered anybody else, would bother us. You know what I mean? That's an awful big number. And again, if it gets rejected, which I've been telling people we need to be legally compliant, or it gets rejected and then they get in our business, we just have to come back and fix it, which may be a hellacious problem for payroll and budget and programming and stuff like that. But, again, I'm about the total of the 2 numbers combined. And that's what I'm talking about, the sweet spot. And I don't know. I'm willing to go as high as it takes to not mess with the total, so that it is not 6,000 in one option and 4,000 in another, because that's a considerable difference.
Yeah, so I'm looking at what is option 7, I think, and TALC's latest option, which I don't know the number for, so.
Their latest is option 9.
Okay. And we're really not that far off. Where we're far off is special instructional. You're almost double our amount. So I'm wondering if there's any compromise there. And obviously performance pay, we're way far apart. So, and I can tell you from the district's position, there is compromise there. We're not stuck on 10, 12, and 1350. So, the other thing is, no, I'm sorry. So I'm just trying to get us to a point where we can agree.
And yeah, I'm with you there, but again, I think, and I've learned this from the insurance task force, when there were years where we had to look at changing things, right? And are there enough, what kind of change would we have to make to the special instructional group for it to make enough of a monetary difference to offset the other, you know, because it's what, 450 people? And then we've got 5,800 people in the bargaining unit. So if we half that, that's not going to be enough money to hardly spread out among the other 5,400 people. So again, it's one of those things where we're looking at that idea of, yeah, if we lowered it, that'd be cool, or maybe not cool, but it doesn't save us enough money to really make any progress on the other side to make that happen. And I think Kerr is doing some real-time stuff here, which is what I greatly appreciate, because I look great, he does all the work. So again, I'm not beyond that idea of like, you know, playing with the numbers. But again, in the special instructional group, it's not that many people, so we'd have to make a really big change to make a number big enough to affect 5,800 or 5,400 people on the other side.
The other, and I have a question, and I know Kerr's working, but I may need him to answer this perhaps. We go 16 plus. You all have another band, 15 to 19, and then 20 plus. Philosophically, any reason, any thoughts?
I mean, we looked at, keep wondering if this is on, there we go. We looked at trying to group folks into those 5-year, you know, I don't like the term bands because they're, I'm sorry? Increments, that works better. Because, you know, we're not truing folks up in our option. But, you know, honestly, it was about trying to give more money to folks that have the most credible teaching experience. That's the short answer. Like I said in the past, for far too many years, we just haven't been able to do that. And so we wanted to jump on that opportunity. And while I have the mic, if you don't mind, Rob, I did clarify that it was Henry. The teacher association and Henry district came to an agreement, 6% across the board, and they received guidance from Finn, who said once 47.5 has been reached, there's no need for performance pay any longer. Gotta love Finn. Florida Education Negotiators.
And I need to jump in real quick. And that group 20 plus, those are definitely, I mean, I don't want to say 100%, but I'm going to say 99.99999% of those people are probably the ones that are disenfranchised because of contract status. Because that rule went into effect essentially in 2011. So that group is definitely disenfranchised unless somebody, you know, gave up their PSE and went over to the performance scale. And really the 16 plus group is probably overwhelmingly disenfranchised by the idea that contract status matters with evaluations.
I'm glad Kevin said what he said there about people making a choice, because although I'm not sitting here agreeing with it, in July of 2011, up until then, teachers did have a choice whether they wanted to go on the performance salary schedule. So it's disenfranchised is your word. there was a choice at that time, whether you wanted to go on it or not.
There was also a consequence.
Absolutely. No, I don't disagree with that, but there was a choice.
Jill, then Anna, and then Shay.
Well, I understand that people had a choice to give up something, their professional service contract, which is something that they earn. A highly effective should be a highly effective. It shouldn't matter. And this makes it matter. And so someone is basically saying that my highly effective, as a 16-year teacher, and this, I've had 16 credible years, this is year 17, my 16 years, right, that highly effective that I earn is not the same as a highly effective as a teacher who does not have a PSC. So maybe someone that has 10 years in the district, right? That our highly effectives are no longer equal. And that's what Kevin's talking about. Yes, I had the option to give up my PSC, but I earned that. So, and giving up or getting rid of PSC has only, I think, continued to harm our profession, not help it. Teachers have trouble getting mortgages. Teachers have a lot of stress over just being released. And I know that we've put things in place to prevent people from just being arbitrarily non-renewed, but I earn that. And I earn a highly effective. And I should earn the highly effective supplement, not a different supplement, because I chose to keep a benefit that I worked for and earned.
All right, Anna?
A little hard to follow, Jill. One of the things that I also wanted to highlight when we talk about the differences between the TALC offer and the district's offer, looking at our option 9 and the district's latest option 8. That on the district's option, in order to get an 8% increase, you had to be at year 12. With our option, you had to be at year 5. And I think that 8%, we talked about this last meeting, that email went out to all employees in the TALC bargaining unit that there was an 8% increase. And so now that's something that we have to combat and battle when there's people that are thinking that they're getting an 8%. So anything that we negotiate that's less than that 8% puts ratification in jeopardy. So when you look at option 9, years 0 through 4 are the employee groups that would get less than that 8%. However, their starting salary is increasing. They're the group of employees that have continuously gotten salary increases due to state legislation for the past several years. When we look at the special instructional percentage of 8%, that again is in lining up with the email that was sent out to employee groups. So that's something that we've had to take into consideration as well as we continue to find a plan that is going to be able to be ratified and also equitable to as many employees as we can.
Shay?
So I just want to point something out. Special instructional, we kind of went round and round with over the past week because the district's first option was giving them like a $10,000 raise, and then the next option was like 4.5%, and then I forget what today is. But we had lots of conversations about it over this past week, and we've talked to, just like I talked to JRTC instructors that called me yelling at me because they thought they were getting excluded. We've had a lot of talk with school counselors, social workers, those types of people. And we really needed to make it equitable for them. They are at a disadvantage because they don't always have the correct credible years of coverage or longevity or whatever word we want to use at this point. So we did feel it was important to give them something substantial because of the work that they do in our schools. We can't run our schools without them. Just like we're having a hard time running them without teachers. There are schools that are putting kids in auditoriums still because there are not enough subs. So we need to make sure we value those people, and we want to make sure that they're represented in our bargaining group. So, you know, a comment was just made recently, and I got like 4 text messages, you know, well, how can we work with special instructional? We don't want to balance this amount on the backs of special instructional.
Okay. Anybody else? Louis?
As I look over at what our interests are, I see things like teacher morale, equity, retention, competitiveness. And when we're tying so much money to things like highly effective and effective, yet for us elective teachers, you're putting us in with subjects that we have nothing to do with. And then now we're forced to change the way we teach, change our lesson plans and stuff like that, so we can comply with being damned in reading. And how is that fair? How is, when you're talking about putting all this money into performance-based pay, yet you have these teachers that are being held to a standard that they have no control over?
Yeah, it must have been missed what Elizabeth said. This is based on manager's rating, not on VAM.
Kevin?
Only because we don't have it yet.
Wait till you get the mic.
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah.
I see a lot of talking going on. Do we need another caucus?
Yes, but it is.
All right, Jill?
So if we're basing performance pay solely on manager's rating because we don't have state BAM, then to me, that's even more of a reason to place less value in it. Because again, highly effective is a highly effective, no matter your contract status. It's a highly effective. So I understand that there are laws and rules that we need to comply with. At the same time, that has caused more compression. It has caused more frustration with those of us that continue to stay in Lee County.
Okay. Time? Yeah. How much? 20?
Hardcore.
Hard time?
Yes.
please take your seats.
While we get our caucus reports. All right, Kurt.
Thank you. We discussed all options on the table. And we're back to discuss some more.
Okay. Rod?
Yeah, we discussed really TALC's latest option and then performance pay. And we're back to discuss more.
Okay. So who would like to discuss more first?
I can go.
All right, Kurt.
All right, so we took what the district said regarding performance pay seriously and decided to see what options would look like, what an option would look like if we kind of split the difference with your performance pay. And we compared kind of our option 9 to what I'm calling fictitious option 10 that I'm not putting up here because there were so many, probably not a good term. I'd say winners and losers, you know, folks that had more, got a bigger increase under option 9 versus option 10. When we inflate performance pay to something that I think it was in the neighborhood of $650, somewhere in there for effective, there were a lot more losers on this plan than with TALC's option 10. For example, somebody that's in year 5 through 9 would actually have a $993, their increase would be $993 better with TALC's option than, you know, mucking with percentages and increasing performance pay. The only real winners in this group is year 1 through 4 and year 20 plus. And we're trying to not, how do I want to say this? We're trying to spread the money out to the most people, and increasing performance pay just isn't doing it for us with the amount of money that's on the table.
Okay. Okay, Rob?
So we did some math, and we would like to put up an option for highly effective 667 and effective 500. And we believe that fits within the parameters of TALC's option with the authority of 32.8 million.
$667 and $500, right? Okay.
You know those amounts are governed by the language in the statute regarding 75%, 50%.
Okay, thank you. Kurt?
I just have a question. Did you say that option 10 is TALC's option 9, but with these performance pay dollars?
Well, not to get into the interest-based bargaining rules, but that option is on its own.
Are the percentages from TALC's option 9 and the district's option 10 the same? I guess is my question. Or is your option number 10 just performance pay and nothing else?
No, I could literally put up your option and then change the performance pay, but unless you give me authority to change your option,
so
you following me?
No.
Okay.
So option 10 are the percentages from TALC's option 9. If you want to replicate them, you can. I'm not going down.
Okay, yeah.
But it's TALC's option 9 just with
TALC's option 9 with performance pay of 667 and 500.
Thank
you. Sorry to confuse everyone.
We got it straightened out. Option 9. Okay. Anything else? Kevin?
How much does this cost?
Do we
Please.
have a total for it, the cost?
32.8.
Go ahead, Kirk.
I want to make sure I have my notes right. So year 0 was a 3.65%. 1 through 4 was 5.5. 5 through 9, 8.5. 10 to 14, 9.5. 15 to 19, 10.5. 11.5 for 20 plus, and 8 for special instructional.
That's what we have, yes.
And then highly effective at 667, effective at 500. All right, thank you for clarifying.
Okay, anything else? Any other questions or clarifications needed? Any other conversation or comments? 10? You got it, 10.
You have been very good.
You've been excellent. You've been excellent.
Please acknowledge and give me some.
You have been doing a great job. Actually, tonight and the last time we met too, Kevin, you were on. Tell us back. Your Caucus report. Everybody can get your seat, please. The district did not caucus, so you know, so go ahead.
We discussed what is now option 10, and for the minutes, we would like it to be very clear that, or maybe have an option 11, which is 9 and 10 put together. We want to be very clear that our percentages are matching up. So
You want an option 11?
maybe option 11 is option 10 plus TALC's 9, just so it's all in one.
I think we listed out.
Okay. So
Yeah, that's what we did.
please list our percentages out from option 9. I can call them out again if you'd like.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, I appreciate this.
The other side here on the front.
That's right.
Bring in bakers.
That was amazing.
Oh, that is
See, if we could just replicate option 9 with option 10 effective, highly effective amounts.
You want to call that option 11 then?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay.
Yeah, call it option 11, good.
You want me to save you?
Zero,
9 is right there on the bottom.
no, 9 is right here.
Right here. Okay, so 0.
You'll be right now.
3.65. 1 to 4 is 5.5. 5 to 9 is 8.5. 10 to 14 is 9.5. 15 to 19 is 10.5. 20 plus is 11.5. Special instruction is 8%.
So now highly effective will be
6, 7.
Okay, 667, effective will be 500.
And EFC, right?
Yes, 500.
Diane,
LCC is included in the numbers.
Yes.
cost 30.8.
Donna, while I have the mic, if that's okay?
Sure, go ahead.
We would like to create, oh man, where are we? Straw design C
Yeah,
with 3, 4, and 11, please.
okay, let's see if I can find Star Design B. Oh, here, it's right there, but there's no more room on the paper. So Star Design C.
Sorry, it is 3, 4, 11?
3, 4, and 11, please.
All right,
Yeah, so what does number 4 say?
Career ladder movement money is outside bargaining authority.
All right, well, I really don't think that's an option. I think that's a statement that was made that evening. I don't think 3 is necessarily a problem, because I think we need to include that language in the future in the contract. But I'm not sure what 4 intends to say.
Kevin, you have an answer?
Yeah, so 4 means that people are getting their career ladder money and it's not included in the 32.8. Because it's not accounted for up there in the 32.8, nowhere in our percentages or anything.
When we just gave you the figure for the cost of what we believe your option cost, it was included.
Okay, would you read 3, please, Amy?
Option 3 is amend 10.02, section 2, paragraph C of TALC contracts, insert line 30. After $1,000, will have to be paid by October 31st each year.
strike after the word district, everything in lines 31 and 32. So take out signing up the MOU every year for career advocacy.
So just to clarify, Kerr, I think that language means that we wouldn't need an MOU, it would just be in the contract, correct?
Yes. And so, order of operations, percentage, I mean, are we doing percentage, highly effective career ladder, that's how we're stacking it? Is that what the thought is? Percentage, yeah, sorry, percentage performance career ladder?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. If it's percentage performance career ladder, not percentage. Oh, okay, sorry.
We're gonna need a quick caucus, and I mean quick.
All right, quick. 10 minutes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so we had a discussion about the, straw design C, specifically the career ladder. We're good.
Okay, that was short and sweet.
Well, I think we're taking 4 out. We're good with 3 and 4?
Rob, Kevin wants clarification, are we good with 3 and 4?
Well, I'm not necessarily good with 4 simply, or whichever one is just the statement. Is that 4 or 3?
Yeah.
4 is the
Yeah, I'm not necessarily good with that. I think 3 is fine. And then we do have a career ladder committee. If we want to discuss that in there, I'm fine with that. But I don't think we should be up and downing a statement.
I'm fine with kicking it back to the career ladder committee. But that was an option, that wasn't just a statement, because we do want the district to fund career ladder outside of bargaining authority, and essentially, I mean, it's become a cost of doing business. So let's kick this to the career ladder committee, have them come up with some sort of decision or an option perhaps, and bring it back to this body when we're back here in February. So I can amend straw design C to only include options 3 and 11. Or a new, that's fine too, 3 and 11.
All right, do you need it written anywhere that the career ladder committee will work on this? You want to put it in story to get?
Yeah, we'll put it in story.
Okay.
I mean, we're all here to hear it, but it certainly doesn't hurt to hear it down.
All right, we'll put that in minutes.
When we are ready, I would like to test straw design D, please.
Okay, then I'll just let Mark finish writing, and we will test straw design D. And straw design D contains options 3 and 11. Do you need them read out?
The orange, you mean?
No, do you need to read? The
No, I
options
don't
read?
need that.
Okay, so,
Yeah, we need to add something that I think you'll agree with, retroactivity.
Thank you.
To option 11.
And we also have to talk about implementation, kind of a timeline, and there's that one thing in 15 we're changing the duration.
Yeah, after we're done.
Okay, yeah.
we have to do this first, and then we'll do the implementation in Article 15, or Article 15 and then implementation.
So what's the retroactive?
Retroactivity to July 1, 2023. Great. Okay, so we've had a request to test straw design D, option 9, and option 9, yeah. Option 9 and option 3. 3 and 11. Sorry. Straw design D, option 3 and 11. Yeah, Rob.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to frustrate the process here. I just want to make clear that one of our desires was to deal with the interests of recruiting. And I just want to make it clear that we're really looking at a starting salary range of $50,000 to $54,600. And I just want to put that on the record that that is not going to ultimately help recruiting as we sit here today. And I'm hopeful when we come back after the first of the year that we can deal with that in earnest.
Okay, thank you. Kevin?
I do recognize the fact that we are the lowest starting salary in the Southwest Florida area. However, I think we also need to recognize we are the only district without the millage. And if the school board would like to pursue the millage, that is a $6,000 addition to everyone's salary, not just my bargaining unit, but everyone's. And so the places that have gone to 54 have largely gone because they have the millage. And we just don't have it, and we can talk about political will all we want. We don't have it. Everybody else has it. And that's the path to 54, because if you want to give everybody at the bottom $6,000, we're not doing this damn compression thing again, where the people at the bottom get $4,000 and Anna gets 400. It's $4,000 for everybody, so come with a check.
Anna?
I also just want to touch a little bit on retention as well, because yes, I agree that recruitment is important, but so is retention. And I feel like daily I have conversations with teachers to not leave this profession, and for many other reasons besides money. And so I think the money does help a little bit, especially when we're talking about, and this is, we've said it over and over again, people putting food on their tables and the cost of living here. So I think that this is a step in the right direction with what we have available for us this session. I am looking forward to seeing what comes out of the salary study and what we're able to accomplish as a result of that. So I think it's twofold. Yes, we need to recruit teachers, but we would have less teachers to recruit if we were able to continue to retain the teachers that we currently have.
And as we've said before, we have a whole list of interests up there, and we're not going to meet everyone with every star design or option we come up with. So I think we did a pretty good job of meeting many of those interests that are up there. So with that, I see thumbs for star design D, 3 and 11. All right, and an orange circle. Congratulations. Good job. Thank you. And we did it, Carl.
They can handle it. I'm the one covering that. Oh, whoops. Nobody else.
All right, so.
While we're still in Article 10, may I'd like to quickly address the longevity supplement.
Okay.
I need an option, yeah.
Option.
So, 1. Can we go back to option 1, or do we need to keep going?
Yeah, otherwise we'd have to make another star design. Yeah. So let's start again.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'll be very quick. So this is Article 10.06, parentheses number 3. This is our longevity supplement that we recently increased the amounts to last year. There's been some changes in legislation around what can and cannot be called a longevity supplement, and so our option just changes the name. We would like to change the reference to the longevity supplement to...
We need a drum roll.
Loyalty. We have to change it to something around...
Something that doesn't say longevity.
Yeah, it still starts with L, loyalty, he said. Rob?
Kurt, do you know where that is in the statute now?
Yeah, give me 1 second, I'll tell you. So longevity supplements have to be part of the highly effective performance pay calculations. And this is...
Well, hold on a second. For
yeah.
Conversation going on over here. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Kurt.
10.12.22, parentheses 1, parentheses C, 5.
You said 10,
10/12/2022?
10/12/22, parentheses 1, parentheses C, 5. There was also conversation sometime over the summer of this maybe even just being a counter of evaluations, number of evaluation supplement, kind of the same as years with the district. I'm amenable to either of those.
This is an article. C5. 10/12/22.
What's the option? What's the word?
Loyalty.
Or number of evaluations, if we like that better, I'm.
Nutrition, endurance, anything other than longevity.
Let's make a circle back.
We only have 12
Yeah,
minutes.
I'm looking at the statute and we're willing to stay a couple minutes later if that's necessary, so. I'm looking at the statute, Kerr, and I'm not seeing what you're talking about. 10/12/22, 5.
1, C5.
Oh.
So what part of 1C5? Because it has A, it has B, it has C.
So our guidance from FEA Legal has been that any compensation for longevity of service awarded to instructional personnel must be included in calculating salary adjustments required under base pay and performance pay provisions. If the district doesn't have the same read, I don't see any need to change that. Just trying to be a little proactive here, if the district does have the same read.
Yeah, we'll take a closer look at it, but I don't think for tonight we're comfortable changing it, but we're gonna be back pretty quickly, so.
Okay.
So I just delay that
Are you
option?
okay with that?
Yeah, we'll be back in a couple of months.
Okay.
I think we also want to talk about duration.
Right.
Right.
Next thing.
That's Article 15. That's the only thing in 15. So duration would be FY24, FY25, and FY26.
That's 1503.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Sorry. Yeah, we need to change the reopener to March 31 of 2024.
Sorry, what was reopener for March?
31, 2024. And successor would be June 30, 2025. I look really good when Kurt writes this down for
I'm
us.
sorry, one more time.
So successor is June 30, 2025. Please. Yes.
Start it all now.
And then I think 1506 needs to say 2026, Kevin.
Yes.
Okay, anything else in duration?
No, I believe that's it.
No. All right. So instead of going through the whole option and the whole thing, this is, this is pretty straightforward. This is the option to change the date.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the option to change the date. I'd like to test that option, please.
Okay. So to change, update the duration.
Thank you.
Sorry, what was that, Donna?
to update the dates in Article 15, duration, what we have up there, duration FY '24, FY '25, FY '26, reopener 3/31/24, successor 6/30/2025. Is everybody okay with that one?
And the expiration? Did you get 15.06?
Yeah, it should say 2026.
Thank you.
Okay, if everybody's okay with that change for Article 15? Thumbs, all right, another orange circle. All right, last but not least is implementation. So we need to kind of set up a timeline as far as our application by TALC and by the board. Kevin?
So, I mean, again, we gotta dot the Ts and cross the Is and make sure everything's good. So, I'm thinking the earliest ratification vote, considering cleanup and kind of education, right? We gotta do some videos, we gotta get it out there. The earliest possible ratification would probably be, wouldn't Halloween be a great day to vote on this? Kind of sometime in that week, and then maybe to the board after we're done, assuming ratification, and probably in paychecks at the end of November. Not to put anybody on the spot, but on Thanksgiving Day, what a great day to get.
I think board meetings are the 7th or the 21st, so if we could get it on the 7th, that'd be great, because I think the 21st is the reorganization meeting, where they pick a chair and all that. So it'd be best for the 7th, and I think the best we can do would be the December 15th paycheck.
Kevin, I'm really sorry, if you could just repeat your dates, we got messed up on our page numbers.
So, voting last week of October, so Halloweenish, maybe the 1st or the 2nd. We have to do things by hand, because, labor law is written in the 40s, last touched in the 70s. And then board on the 7th of November, and then payout on December 15th. And we would need the document by the 13th of November, please. No, 13th of October, sorry. Yeah, December 15th.
It's possible, we're gonna have to really, I mean, obviously, I'm down a person in compensation and labor relations, so.
That might be considered a self-inflicted one. Jill will help.
All right, and so October 13th for a copy of the new language, salary schedule, et cetera. Joint communication?
Can we agree on the 16th for the agreement, 2 weeks from today?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Yeah, as long as we have it by the 13th, we can have it to you by the 16th.
I'm not sure what that means. Can we get it to you by the 16th?
Yeah, can you get it to us by the 16th? Yeah.
Yes. All right, change the 13th to the 16th. You did. Okay. All right. Any other changes need to be made?
I want to clarify that if they vote on the week of the 30th, there's a potential I can't get it on the board agenda to the 21st, which won't affect anything. I just want you to know that if it doesn't go to the board on the 7th, it's because we didn't have the results of your ratification with enough notice for the board agenda.
But we need at least 10 days so people can see it.
No, I understand.
Final copy, I want everybody to have 10 days, So that would put, if we got it on the 16th, it'd go to staff on the 18th, and we could vote on the 1st and the 2nd, or the 1st.
Right, and that doesn't give me notice to put it on the board agenda,
You would not be interested in good cause?
Potentially, yes,
Okay.
but I don't want to commit to that. But even if it goes the 21st, I don't think it will impact any of this.
So, it'll be okay for December 15th?
Correct, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. All right. Anything else on that implementation? Joint communication.
Yeah, we have an interest in trying, and I talked to Kevin earlier, we'd like to get something out as early in the morning as we can. So if you want to stick around, we can write something together right now. Kerr and Kevin, or myself and Kerr, and, like we used to do, Donna, old school.
I remember.
Yes, and then I can go through my channels and possibly get it out, so your folks will know something first thing.
Yeah, that's fine, and I don't know if it's too early to talk about coming back. We want to look at early February. I think I'm in
Yes.
Tallahassee either the first full week of February or the first couple of days of February. I gotta look, so it might be worth it to talk about maybe the third Monday in February, unless that's a holiday. Hang on, oh my
Probably
goodness.
is.
Is it President's Day?
President's Day, okay.
I just want to make sure it's not after Super Bowl Sunday.
Your team won't be there, so I don't know what you're worried about.
It's the Monday after the Daytona 500, however.
So we can talk more about that, but I want to get back as soon as possible, because we have some stuff to really still talk about.
Yeah, I think we have a mutual interest in doing that, so.
Okay, so anything else? All right, thank you both teams for all your hard work, trying to get things together. Have a great evening.
Thank you, facilitators. You don't know how much it meant.